Good morning and welcome to day one, or day two, I guess, of Origins 2025. It's Thursday. Today the exhibit hall opens. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, or a little bit actually, it's 7:45. And there's people walking around and getting ready, I suppose. It's going to be, well, who knows how crowded it's going to be. The 50th anniversary of Origins. We'll check it out. Let's get going. All right, well, we see the all-play booth, of course, with their really cool displays. Right over here, we have Kids Table board games. They have a bunch of new things they're showing off. So lots, of course, over here, Endeavor Deep Sea. And there is Inferno.
It's gonna frustrate it.
A lot of cool games around here. There's Fireside Games. They're showing off Burn My Village, which you saw us play in the Spring Spectacular. And of course, Castle Panic, which comes in apparently 17 sizes. Here's Hunter versus Hunter, which we have in the Dice Tower. Moving around, let's swing around the corner. Here's Amigo showing off 3 chapters, which we just reviewed. Definitely check it out. Good little filler game. Magic Mountain. I guess it's a newer version, a fun kids game. Won the best kids game year of the award. Lots of flag. Over here you see all the games that are nominated for the Origins Awards. So they're showing them off in this booth here. Those will be announced Friday at 8 p.m. There's a trophy. Giant stuffed dice. I really like that giant D20. Wouldn't that look good in my studio? Of course, how would I get it home? Oh, this is some nice art. See, that's one thing I really like about these conventions, folks, is the art. This is cool. Look at this. A big Coliseum. Looks like some sort of Blood Bowl-esque game. Maybe it is Blood Bowl, I don't know. But man, that looks cool. And then over here, this is definitely 40K, Warhammer 40K. So that's neat. And then t-shirts. I do like good and well-painted miniatures. This is over at Critical Crafting. But wow, these look fantastic. The sign of this booth is giving good advice. I don't know much about this game, but I know what you're trying to do. Or not do, sorry. Something has happened to Freedom. Whew. Nice paint jobs, but also gross. Yet another giant battle. These guys are kind of in each other's faces. Like, those orcs are going to get run over by those tanks. So, I don't know. I think I would have some more space between me. And those guys, why are they coming out the gate? I don't know. But it looks cool. It's not often you see something this big. Like, I don't know what this thing is, but it's obviously such a big spaceship. It has buildings on. But this is taking up a booth. The Emperor's Promise. I have to say, folks, if you like terrain and things like that, there is so much of that here. Here's Restoration Games showing off Battle Monsters, which you just saw on the Summer Spectacular. And of course, all their stuff for Unmatched. The new series is out here, and we got Witcher, and then Crossbows and Catapults, so lots of cool stuff. And of course, you can see there's Godzilla, and of course the best Kong. I don't even know why he feels like he's not in a prominent position here. And Mecha. So you saw us play this live, but here it is. And of course, these are painted by one of the best painters there is. And then here's the game all set up with the miniatures. I'm that helicopter circling around like a moron. You know I'm gonna die. Here's some nice looking stuff. This Vines and Flowers. That's kind of a neat looking 3D style game. I'm not sure how it plays, but it looks great. Come Bite Me, Journey to the West, Taylor Master. I like the look of these a lot. And here we have Genius Games, and you might notice this Atlantis Rising is there. That's because Genius Games has picked up all their games from Elf Creek, or they're distributing them at least. So we have Merchant of the Dark Road, Atlantis Rising, End of Trail, and Honey Buzz. So that's interesting. Let's see where that goes, but at least people will be able to still get those games, many of which are very good. Here's Galileo Galilei. This is Capstone Games, and they're showing off all sorts of things. One of the more popular booths, I'm sure, here. There's Raising Chicago, of course, Galileo Galilei, Butterfly Garden, a lot of great games. Inside Up Games showing off Earth, the deluxe resources you can get, and several other games, including Perch. All right, we see Emerald Skulls and Stone Spire Architects, and are showing off some new games here, and especially free monster hugs. I feel like this means they're free. Nope, they're $20 each, but you can hug them. Here is 25th Century. You can see all their different games they got here. Many of these are brand new. In fact, I think they're all almost brand new, so that's cool to see. Here's Whirligig Games showing off their new stuff. Mostly Molly House, I think, is the big game that they're showing. Folks, you've seen the epoxy cutting boards, right, everywhere? Well, here we have dice boxes. They look really fantastic. Way to store your dice. And more over here. That's Ravenwood. All right, here we have a giant dice tower. It says I can roll the dice, so
Mr. Vasel.
I will. We got 2 D20s here. Here we go. If either of them was a 20, I would have won this dice tower, but they were not. Here's Kinson Key Game showing off Galactic Cruise and Fromage. Over here is Terrible Games, sucking that guy's face. And Pirate Blast. There's Weird Coffee Person. I think they're selling dice. Oh, maybe that's just it's Pour Over Gaming. You know, I thought when I saw their thing yesterday they would be selling tea, but it's actually just dice. Here we see Flashpoint Legacy of Flame set up a little bit here. That's probably not spoiling much for you. Then a lot of Gloomhaven stuff over here, showing off Buttons and Bugs and Frosthaven. And then there's candles. Here's a bunch of new stuff from Smirk and Dagger. Look at a place for all my books, also known as shelves. Looking forward to that one. Here's one of my favorite booths I found. Look at this. These are really beautiful woodwork stuff. I mean, why would I go to Michael's or any other store where you get this really great stuff? And in fact, the thing I like the most, I mean, they have some cool magnets, but they have these little towers here. I really like that. You're going to see that in the Dice Tower office. Some neat stuff. I showed you the cards yesterday, but now you can see the miniatures of the new Townsfolk Tussle enemies. Scary stuff. Here's a new game coming out, Hercules and the 12 Labors from Envy Board Games, a solo game. This is actually after one of my favorite mythological tales, actually. You think Hercules would have given up after 4, but no, he kept going. This looks really neat, coming later this year. So here's a game called Offshoots. It's about balancing. Balancing what, you might ask? Well, they look kind of like wrenches, but it's a tree. There's one. There's another. Offshoots. Hey, look, it's a new expansion for SETI. Do you want to see the new alien? Well, too bad. But you can see the new, what are these called?
Space agencies.
Space agencies, also known as player powers.
Yeah.
More cards. And then also Wispwood. I know, you're like, go back to SETI. Well, no, look at Wispwood, everyone. Oh, and there's a new Codenames box. Now look at that. Oh, so much better. All coming from CGE. Hey folks, we have Familiars and Foes, which is from Horrible Adorables, which is what my wife calls me, except the Adorables part. This is a cooperative game here where your familiars are trying to rescue witches, or there are people who treat them like garbage. I don't know why you'd rescue them, but that's behind the scenes stuff. So yeah, check it out. It's all over. Also some cool toys. Dead creatures, I think. I feel like there's a catch.
No, you're fine.
But I'm just going to take one, and I mean, it says free, right? Or maybe it was the one that was here. It's probably a contest. All right, Urza's Toolbox here is a thing that shuffles sleeved cards. So let's see how this works here. What sleeves were those?
These are Dragon Shields.
Not good sleeves.
So that was 100 cards, like a commander deck. So 100 cards sleeved.
How many times you run it through?
Well, that was just once.
No, but I mean, if you're shuffling, how many times would you run it through?
3 to 5, depending on what it is. It is designed to randomize 1 to 3 cards per pull, so you get actual randomization.
Cool.
And we make sizes anywhere from 60 cards all the way up to 200 single sleeve or 400 unsleeved cards.
Here we have Gnomes and Wizards from Cavernhold. Well, one thing I'm really impressed with Cavernhold are these bags. Now, y'all know I like all play bags. I think they're fantastic. But for holding cards, these just look absolutely incredible. And you can hold all different cards in small games. I'm really interested in this, and I think it's something worth checking out. So that's Cavernhold. So Bezier Games is a new game that's making some sort of buzz. The Game Makers, where you make board games, but they actually have actual games that you're making. See Honey Buzz there? They apparently got the licensing from a lot of different companies. I don't know much more about it than that, but we'll find out as time goes by. Looks cool though. Over here's a puzzle area in the back. You can see some competitive puzzle building back there. I gotta say, folks, one thing that kind of blows my mind is the number of dice stands. I'm not exaggerating. I want to say there's 15 dice stands here. And it's kind of mind-boggling to me how many dice stands there are. I mean, how could so many dice stands exist together? Who's buying all this dice? It's probably me. It's the middle of the day here, and most people seem happy to be here, but not everyone. If you're ever looking for good art, this is some of the best art I've ever seen. In fact, we have this piece in the Dice Tower studio. If you ever want a great piece to put on your walls, definitely recommend. It's cosplayers. Over there we have Ghostbusters. And then all the way over here we have the 501st Legion, who is all Star Wars. And then I'm not sure what that is. I think it's a mix of stuff. And then Mario. And then a Banana Wizard. I don't know. Let's run to where it's safe. Here's the map in case you're ever in the future and you're coming back in time to visit Origins. You'll know where to go. So much Crokinole being played here. We have a Brown Castle Crokinole board. It's amazing. Look at all these people playing Crokinole. Crokinole, Crokinole. It's back. It's big. You thought Trick Taking was in? Nope. Crokinole. Apparently, I was mistaken. They've combined the two, and you know what? We should just go home now.
We appreciate the correction, Tom.
Do you want big miniatures? Well, here's this thing that has pretty, that's a normal miniature, and that's his dad. Grandfather, giant. I'm not sure what's going on, but it looks cool. Anyway, we are in the main gaming hall. Over here, they're having gunfights and gambling. In the back, there's people playing. Less people in here now because, well, the exhibit hall is open, so there's a lot of people over in that area. And you can see some demos and stuff, games over here. So yeah, I'm gonna now go. Origins wants me to sit and sign stuff. We'll see if anyone shows up. I'm gonna guess 4 people. Let's see if I'm right. So this is the area where special guests go. There's no one here. And in fact, the time I'm supposed to be here, I believe it's just me and one other person. So if I understand correctly, that means I get 5 tables. Let me count. Oh, 4.5. Okay, good enough though. We'll see if anybody shows up. I had a fan come by. This is fantastic. He came by, but well, he has to go now. So thank you.
Tom.
No one is coming. Actually, like 10 people came. And again, I don't expect a lot of people to come because they're busy having fun and shopping. And I walk around and see people anyway. So it's not hard for me to find people. So also, again, it's me and 11 empty tables. But I'm having a great time here, folks. If you did come by or if you saw me somewhere else in the con, thanks for saying hi.
So I'm here in the Asmodee room. Here's Jason, who's not me, Jason, the other Jason. I love it. I have a twin. Director of marketing for Tabletop for Asmodee. We're going to get to check out a whole bunch of games here, and I knew about some of these already, like the Star Wars Battle of Hoth. What's here, just so everyone knows?
Honestly, so we've got Star Wars Battle of Hoth. We have the Lord of the Rings, Fate of the Fellowship, The Pandemic.
It's so good.
Fate of the Fellowship.
So good.
We've got Seven Wonders Dice. We've got
Seven Wonders Dice.
Yep, we've got Take Time, and we've got The Hobbit there and back again. So all of these titles are releasing between Gen Con and Spiel.
And we'll give you a little sneak peek right here today.
Awesome.
So I just played Seven Wonders Dice. This is obviously, as you can see, a work in progress. This is the new game. The coolest mechanic of this is the dice are in here, and you spin this and shake this, and it rolls the dice. And then which section they land in is how much you pay for them. Really neat. you're building up, you're getting resources, you're using the resources to pay for the different sections. There's the military, the points, the techs, and the green section, the science-ish stuff. And of course, you're building wonders. You have guilds, just like the game, just like Seven Wonders, but it's in a good dice game. A lot of fun. I was obviously the Lighthouse of Alexandria. I absolutely adore this game. It's something that I think everyone's going to love. It comes out at Essen. Seven Wonders Dice. This game is amazing. So, I just played Take Time. This is a new Libellude game, and it's a work in progress as well. As you can see, there's this. We all have cards. We all have 3 cards, some black, some white. They go from 1 to 12. And in this column, we had to have 1 black. In here, 3 cards. The others each needed 2. But like the Mind and other games like that, you don't know what everyone else's card is. You have to put them secretly. So we're all putting our cards down secretly and trying to get them in numerical order, which we happen to do because that turns out a 7 and a 7 work perfectly. And we did it right. This is Take Time. There's a bunch of scenarios that come with it too, with different rules and different hardnesses. So you have a lot more to the game than just the basic game. When you fail, you get clues so you can look at other cards. I really like this one, Take Time. And I found one more thing. It's not being demoed here, but it's out. This is Stitch Experiment 626, which is basically Love Letter, but the fix for 626. And it's Love Letter with obviously twists like they do with everyone, but it comes in this awesome Stitch plushie. Look how cool this is going to be. Very excited for this one as well.
So this homegrown market here says that they get all their food from this. Grown 75 feet from a kitchen, local enough. I gotta be honest, I don't want to go to a restaurant that's less than 50 feet, but I guess I'll break a rule here. Well, folks, this is one of the reasons I come to Columbus, go to Schmidt's German restaurant. I am so happy right now. Pretend I didn't eat one of these, but that would be a lie. Here's a giant game of diplomacy that comes with custom hats. Let's see who's winning. Looks like it's close to the beginning of a game. Here's more diplomacy and more. Here's another giant game of diplomacy. Diplomacy is alive and well at cons. So it's Thursday night, first day of the exhibit hall being closed. And yeah, everything seemed to go good today. Wasn't super crowded. Lots of people playing games. And that's it. So thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna be going to bed soon. And then we'll have another day, which will probably be posted next week here, folks. Any extra stuff here from Origins. Thank you to everybody who came by and said hi to me. I hope you enjoyed watching these and learning about new games and new stuff. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching Origins 2025 on the Dice Tower. Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Vasel.